Hello everyone! Welcome to Chess Comic, where we learn, laugh, and checkmate. For today's video, we're going to learn the Legal's Checkmate. This is actually one of the oldest trick or trap in the book. So if you guys are ready, let's start. White plays pawn to e4, black plays pawn to e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to c4. Here, black has two most common moves, which is bishop to c5 or knight to f6. But for the Legal's checkmate, black plays pawn to d6, with the idea of creating a pawn chain right away and opening up its light square bishop. Although, there's a disadvantage because it blocks the dark square bishop and it's a little bit clogged in here. But this is still good for black until black makes a mistake later. So for white, I normally suggest to castle your king early so that it will be safe. But for the Legal's checkmate trap, white plays knight c3. This is actually not a bad idea because white has developed three minor pieces right away. And I would actually suggest that, or suggest to you to play this move, knight to c3. Now black plays bishop to g4 to pin our knight, because that's the main idea why black played pawn to d6 to pin our knight. So let's just move back a bit. Actually, if you don't want your knight to be pinned, you can stop it by playing pawn to h3. But that could be done in some other positions. I'm just showing you on how to stop the pin. But here in the Legal's trap or checkmate, we are inviting black to pin our knight. And you'll see that later. So now white plays pawn to h3, kicking the bishop. We actually want the bishop to move back to h5, which is the point of the trap. Here, black may think, oh, I don't want to capture the knight because I just want to maintain the trap. If the bishop moves back anywhere, then moving the bishop to g4 will be pointless because the main reason why the bishop moved to g4 is to pin the knight, right? Although, in this position, black is lost. Not lost to the point that black will be forcibly mated or black will lose a huge material, but white can already win a pawn by playing knight takes e5. You may think, oh, wait, did we just lose our queen? Yes, we did. But we are going to checkmate the black king in two moves by playing bishop takes f7 check. The knight is protecting the bishop. The knight is attacking d7, which kind of forces the king to go to e7, followed by knight to d5, check the mate. How beautiful this checkmate can be, right? Because the knight is attacking the king, the knight is attacking f6, and the king can just go anywhere. A beautiful three minor pieces checkmate in the middle of the board. Now, let's try to go back and see what are the other possible options. After white plays knight takes e5, black has two more options, which is to capture the knight with the pawn or capture the knight with the knight. So let's do it one step at a time. Pawn takes knight will be met by queen takes h5, and logically, white is already up by a pawn, which is more than enough for white to win the game. So I want you to keep this in mind. A pawn is more than enough for you to win the game in the higher level of chess. Okay? Now let's go back. What if knight takes knight or knight takes d5? We will still capture the bishop on h5. Coach, didn't we just hang our bishop on c4? Yes, we did. But we can play queen to b5, check, forking the king and the knight. Let's say black plays pawn to c6, which is actually, for me, the best move. Then we'll just simply capture the knight on c4. If we're going to count the pieces that we have captured and lost, we're able to capture a knight and a bishop and a pawn, which is equivalent to 7 points, if I'm not mistaken. I'm 100% sure it's 7 points because the knight is 3, a bishop is 3 and a pawn is 1. So it's 7 points, while black was able to capture a bishop and a knight, which is 6 points. Okay? So now, I want to explain some things here first. Further. Back, 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 back. So why do we have to play pawn to h3? So this is a crucial point of this trap. Why do we have to play pawn to h3? Because if we are going to capture the pawn right away, black will not take our queen, but instead will take our knight with its knight. And the bishop is protected. And our bishop is hanging. That's the main reason why we have to play pawn to h3 first, so that the bishop will no longer be protected in h5, and our queen can capture it later. Okay, we're not done yet. There's an extra thing or extra takeaway that I want you to learn here. e4, e5, knight f3, pawn to d6. So this is similar to the Legal's checkmate trap. The structure will be similar because I want you to know and understand that chess is just a repetition of pattern. Positions may be different, but the pattern will always be the same. So how is it, coach? Okay, pawn to d6, then white plays bishop to c4, black plays bishop to g4 to pin. So here we don't really have to play pawn to h3. We'll just have to play knight c3. I mean, the pattern of developing 3 minor pieces while our knight is pinned. So the mistake here is when black plays h6. Because now we can still play knight takes e5. Bishop takes d1. Then we have bishop takes f7, king e7, followed by knight d5. The same checkmate threat. If black doesn't capture our queen, let's say black captures our knight, then we're going to win the bishop on g4. So we still won a pawn, right? So the position was different, but the pattern and the logic is still the same. Okay, I hope you learned something from our video today. And if you guys learned, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our video to have a good chess 5. Until next time. Bye bye for now.